rather fight one Hendrilisk-sized horse or 100 horse-sized Hendrilisks?
Every week it never disappoints. Let's all just look at the top left as Frank fails trying to put up this banner. Let's just all get a good look at that as Frank tries to put up this thermal take banner. And he's back. Okay. Good job, Frank.
Hey, did I miss the beginning of the show, guys? Sorry
we completely focused on you and failing and trying to put up that banner. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Esports Canada TV, episode 15. I can't believe we've made it. The times we've had, the laughs we've shared. I'm your host, at Quinn of the Net, John Quinn, BSG Toaster. Please follow me on Twitter. As well, follow these two lovely guys, my co-hosts, at ESC Songers. Nick Song, how you doing tonight, Nick?
Good evening, everyone. I am doing well.
Fantastic. And my second best host, at ESC Jovian, Frank Ricci. How you doing tonight, Frank?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for being the god of everything, John. Pretending like you can just frickin' demote me at your whim.
I meant like you're tied for second. Like I'm obviously number one, and then it goes you and Nick like equal.
This guy.
Technically, you're tied for third because like then if one of you moves up, you get second. So third's good. You medaled.
John, Tony Tran's above you. So just saying.
Tony Tran's on in the show, and no one knows who he is. But enough of this childish banter. Tonight, guys, we have a very, very special guest. You may have seen his posts on Starcraft Reddits lately. He's got a pretty interesting story, and tonight we're going to hear all about that. So I'd like to welcome to the show at this time Mr. Jonathan Wright. Jonathan, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me here. Is my webcam coming through?
Yep. Loud and clear, and we can see you fine. We can see that beautiful Movember.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I won't give you crap about that all night. So Jonathan, yeah, I mean, Nick and Frank and I have followed the post on Reddit, and that's kind of how we got in contact with you. And Nick knew you from school and whatnot. But why don't you tell us? UFT Starcraft represent. So yeah, you've got a pretty interesting story. So why don't you kind of tell it to us?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I got a concussion back in the fall of 2012. I used to play college-level football. I was quite good. I was ranked number 1 in the country for wide receiver, short side wide receiver. So I was quite successful at football. I got a concussion, and when you get a concussion, that if you go to the doctor, it goes on your record, and then that goes to the pro scouts, and I still wanted to play pro, so I didn't go to the doctor. I got it diagnosed on the field by the field doctor, and then told them to impolitely never mention it again with some threats and whatever I could so I could keep playing. It was a very severe injury. I lost a lot of brain functions. I got some severe short-term memory problems. I had amnesia over the previous years. I didn't know what was going on. And then recently this fall, so 2 years later, I mean, I failed out of university. I tried to do it on... I wanted to graduate U of T. I was in my 4th year. I sought medical help to get that done, and what brings me here tonight is that one of the suggestions that came up in my therapy was testing out StarCraft 2 and seeing how hard...
I think we
Sorry, you just kind of cut out there near the end of that. You said it was suggested you play StarCraft 2 and...
yeah. During the therapy discussion of my first interviews, StarCraft 2 was brought up as a method of recovery, a way to retrain, and then I opened it up to the community and asked, if they wanted to check it out for some support, because I was on my own doing it by myself. So I tried to join U of T Club, and I did a whole bunch of stuff to see if I could relearn again, and StarCraft was a tool to relearn.
Cool.
That's awesome.
No, I know. I saw this question on Reddit as well. Maybe if you can go over it again. But did the doctor specifically say StarCraft 2, or was it like, video games are a really good way to keep your mind active and busy with decision making and everything, did he just say, find a game that's challenging, or did he specifically know? Was he like an ex-bourgeois who just who knew the game and suggested that specifically?
He was. What happened was we were just trying to establish baseline, because I was telling struggles I was having. Like, I couldn't concentrate for more than 10 minutes. I couldn't remember what happened last week. I would get stumbled. I had a stutter. I still have a little bit of a. It's gone away a lot now that I'm on proper medication and proper training. What I've done, I've retrained a lot. We were looking for a starting point, and we're like, "What do you like?" And I was like, "Well, I like sports, but I can't play more. I can't do any contact sports because, as he was telling me, the next contact hit I get is like 80% chance of death, 20% chance of vegetable. Otherwise, normal life if you get hit again. So sports are out." And I was like, "Okay, well, I like video games." He's like, "Okay, well, tell me about your video games." I'm like, "Well, I only like Starcraft 2. It's like I like watching, and I like playing it. It's really challenging." And I told him about it, and he understood RTS, which was strange. I think he had teenage kids, and this is how he knew what an RTS was. And I explained to him that you need multiple actions per minute. I explained APM. I explained game mechanics and strategies. And him looking at my passion and just the way I approached StarCraft was the first positive thing that we were talking, that he said that is a safe environment I can train in. So he suggested, he's like, "Look, you should dig into this. You should see how far you can get with StarCraft. I want to see, is there a way to monitor if you're getting better at StarCraft?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, there's this ladder system. It marks your wins and losses and ranks you." And he's like, "That's exactly what we need. We need measurable recovery progress reports." So one of the things we did was StarCraft 2, and he got behind me 100%, and he said, "This is what you do, and this is how you got to dig into it." So that's when I started. That was back in end of August, maybe. Like, I got an MRI in beginning of August, and then I got this recommendation was like August 20. I don't know the date. Sometime in the middle of August.
I think I'd be more worried if my doctor did know StarCraft 2. Because I would just be like, "You don't do anything but StarCraft 2, do you?" And it's just like going over streams and how much he plays. I'm just like, oh god. So you played football before this. How into video games were you? I mean, football obviously took up a whole ton of your time, but I mean, was it kind of you were always gaming as a kid and then through high school and all that, or was it kind of just a casual hobby?
In university, I couldn't play a lot of video games. It was football is 44 hours a week.
Wow.
On top of all full-time school, so it was a lot of commitment. I was serious about it. I did all my diet, nutrition, sleeping, training. When in university, I didn't get to play many video games. I did start watching StarCraft 2 in my third year, like a month before my concussion, I think. But growing up, I had 4 brothers and 2 computers in the house. So what I really enjoyed as a kid was watching my brothers play video games or my dad play video games, and we cheered, "Look, there's a treasure chest, go get the treasure chest." Or we played Panzer General 2. I don't know if you guys know this game.
The tank game, I'm guessing.
But that was like, yeah, so we played that for hours.
Awesome.
And like, "Oh, Scout, watch out for like the Russians are coming up here," or "Watch out the we always played as the Germans." It was the only option. It was the only option, but that's who we played.
Awesome.
Frank?
Did
Yeah,
the stream freeze again?
Oh, hello?
Oh no,
We're
those internet
install.
bugs.
Oh,
Oh,
we're good.
There he is. Sorry, you're just choppy like for 10 seconds every 5 minutes, sort of thing.
Is my voice choppy, or is the voice
Just
in
kind of
the video?
everything freezes for like 5 seconds, but it's only happened twice, so fingers crossed.
Okay, well, type in chat, see, like, pause, and then I'll restart again.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
for sure.
Alright.
We'll do that.
So I can know. So we started playing Age of Empires 2. One Christmas Day, we got it. Waited 12 hours for it to install. As it was installing, we're all giddy. We hear this like the loading music for it, and I would have to say I played Empires 2 for maybe 5-6 years.
Wow,
I
that's cool.
didn't. We didn't have internet at our house. I think we had dial-up, but that was like an hour a day for the whole house. So I never played online. I didn't think you could play online, but we'd have LAN parties, and I would play against the AI. And playing against the AI, I could go 1v7, so against 7 AIs, on hardest settings, and deathmatch is what I would do. And that was my claim to fame among my brothers. I beat all 7 AI when they were against me, and I was on deathmatch.
That's the true measure of the solo player. I used to do that all the time because I didn't realize you could really play online. So it's like you just got to see if you can beat the maximum number of opponents at the highest level. I kind of have a question just off of what you were saying earlier. Is there any chance that like perhaps your doctor will use this as maybe a case study? Like, I think about how cool it would be if he could publish something about how the effects of this video game and actually making somebody feel better with measurable results. Is there any talk of that, or do you guys even consider that an option?
That's a great question. Now, hold on. Allow me to get my notes. I have my, because I can't remember things, I have the notes from my last doctor meeting here.
Oh, excellent.
So I can, this is what I have to do. I've got all these files. We did speak a lot about things like that, and I know he was writing a study on concussions, and I'm in the unprecedented
Right.
level of concussions. I've had 15 or 16 or something.
Oh,
Man.
So my level is like uncharted now, and it's hard
Yeah.
for them to know what's next, and that's yeah. Let me find this.
That'd be pretty amazing if there was like some sort of a study and then it was like published, because there's so much flack for video games in the media, and this would just be one of those good things to come out and from like
I agree.
a medical field. But you don't actually have to find the actual like sentence. It's just something interesting. Next time you see him, if you do talk to him about it,
Meeting.
and any updates, if that ever happens, we'd love to know about it, because that would be such a great story for esports and just gaming in general. But I have a better question for you. You ready?
Sure.
Want you to talk about your transition going from sports, so competitive sports. You obviously played at some of the highest levels. So playing sports and then moving into esports. How was that transition for you?
Because you're still competing,
Oh.
like even in CSL now, yeah.
Yeah. I think. And that's what I trained for. It was very easy to get behind practice, easy to wake up at 6 a.m. and lift weights, and do sprint training at nighttime, do 4 hours of practice every day, and then go to class, and you had to do well in class. So it was very easy. I supported it. Transition into Starcraft. You know, I had Starcraft throughout these years when I was with an undiagnosed, untreated injury, and I hated playing it. I loved watching it, but I hated playing it. There's too many mean people. There's too many negative things that happen in it. I didn't have the resources necessary to deal with a troll, or I mean, my processes couldn't separate that from my own play, because in football, if someone says that, you have a very easy way to direct your concentration back.
Yeah.
You just run full speed at them, get 15-yard penalty, and the guy won't talk again because you're going to hit him so hard. And you can't do that in StarCraft.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was a big transition, was being able to establish this is just... So that was hard.
For sure.
It is easy to get behind it because it is. They rank you against someone who's as good as you are, and you have to fight them. So I liked that. I liked how it was competitive. I like seeing the ladder, and as you get better, you can keep getting better because you face someone harder. I like that about it. I like the adrenaline you still get, the same endorphin rush. For playing that first 10 minutes of a StarCraft game, you get that heart pumping. You know, your cortisol levels go up. You're just all this like hormones go nuts in your body. Like getting ready for a fight. Same feeling I get. And then you get that dopamine release, that serotonin, that relaxing feeling when you've won. You're like, oh, yes, that's a victory.
I don't know what that part feels like.
Well, I really enjoyed that. So, and, that part helped me keep going. And then once I opened up to the community, I realized there's a lot more positive people out there than all the negative people. And, you know, there's 20 yeses and 1 I hate you. So the 20 yeses really helped.
That's awesome. Yeah, just talking about, so let's talk about StarCraft. Right now you are playing in U of T's Collegiate Star League.
Yeah.
So just kind of asking, you know, how's that experience, and what are your goals for StarCraft 2?
My goals for StarCraft 2, I've really been helped in the past from it. Like, I really went over a huge block anxiety and stuck with all these negative side effects from my post-concussion syndrome. And StarCraft 2 helped me get over that block. The community was really supportive. Everyone was nice, and playing it gave me something to fight for. And I like the idea of training. Right now, I really hope we can go on to the next level. I don't know what happens. We were missing Henderlisk, and we had a doubleheader. So we lost versus Windsor and Waterloo, and we were the top 3 in our league. So now we're 3rd, and I don't know if top 3 go on or top 2 go on from pool play. So I'm not sure. I play in a 2v2 of it, and my partner is Kaiza. I don't know if I can say his real name, but he's my partner. We need to practice more, but I like being able to to use the same skills I did in football for StarCraft 2, and this is what I do.
Okay.
They have match history, so I go in the match history of who we're going against, and I just check every 2v2, every custom game, and then you can write down the timings. Like, okay, you know, proxy pylon at 320. Stalkers hit at 640 kind of thing, and you can establish, because 2v2 is all cheese. I don't know if you guys play it, but it's only cheese. And it's execute the cheese or defend the cheese, and then you either have the advantage in the macro game, and then late game is like never happens because you have to beat the cheese. So in this match history, you can write down exactly the timings, exactly the scouting patterns, just from the little build order box, and you can see if it goes past the time on the build order. You can see on the resource tab, or the army tab, when it hits. You can see that they're massing units, and then attack. So I was able to do that for our CSL games. It's just creating the actual defensive strategy that beats it. We were unable to do against Windsor. They had a great strategy, and I knew exactly what was going on. We had to scout it. And then we had one side totally scouted, the other side was partially scouted, and the Protoss snuck right through and got his pylon up, got his blink stalkers going, and it was like, oh man, come to my base, he's in my base. And it was like, oh, like I had all my marauders and marines at the tip of my ramp, and he has all his zerglings and banelings at his ramp. Then all these +1 zerglings and blink stalkers hit him, and by the time I walked across the map, he's dead. So that was heartbreaking. I really prepped for that. But I like being able to understand how to scout replays and build order analysis.
Do you make use of SC2 gears at all?
I don't know how to use. I have it. I don't know how to use it. I know I can check my APM growth. I can check my win ratio growth, but win ratio growth has to be 50%. So that's not going to change. I did notice on SC2 gears 2 things that have happened since I think August 15th when I started playing again. My APM has gone up from 90 to about 140, and last week it spiked at like 190, and this week it's been like 190.
50%. It's like more than mine. That's crazy. That's awesome.
It's huge improvement just from playing so much. And I think that comes from understanding the game and knowing what to do next, not just sitting there. If you ever watched my stream before, I haven't streamed a long time, but it was like clickety clickety clickety.
Pause.
And then I'd do something again really fast. And the more you play, I think that processing speed changes. So if your fingers do what they tell you, you can achieve more. And something else I've noticed on SC2 gears was my TVT is like 50 wins and like 5 or 6 losses.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
You got that strategic positioning and stuff down.
I'm getting the question.
Long,
Go ahead.
What's the question?
Oh, okay, perfect. Just from chat, people are wondering your current rank.
Oh, I haven't played 1v1 in a little while. I have a short-term memory problem of about 10 days, and I felt really discouraged about playing 1v1 because someone was and I don't deal well with trolls. So I stopped playing for a while. I didn't stream for a while. I ran out of bandwidth again, so I prevented stream. And I've kind of forgotten how to play it. So right now I think I'm rank 50 in my Masters League. But last season, when I was working really hard, I got to rank 11. And I've beaten a couple of GMs.
Oh, that's awesome.
And do you do 2s ladder, or is it just kind of custom practice with your teammate?
I do 2s ladder, I do 3s ladder and 4s ladder just for fun, because they're a whole bunch of fun. Goes on everywhere, and I think I'm rank 1 or 2 in all of those. 2v2 random, 3v3 random, and 4v4 random.
Nice. And they're plugging your stream in the chat.
Oh, hey McGriv, Zard, welcome. Hey guys.
Do you still stream often?
I will be soon. Yeah. Yeah, sometime this week I'll do it once or twice. I have a hard time staying consistent because if school comes up, I'll notice it last second if I don't schedule it well, and then I won't have the energy for it, and I've got a limited energy pool per day.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, if you are streaming, let us know, and we'll definitely plug that on our Facebook and Twitter. So
yeah,
let us know. Yeah, you say you've been following the esports scene for a while. You do like watching it and obviously playing it in CSL and on your own time. What's been your favorite esports memory so far? Whether it was watching or playing.
Esports memory of watching was the first time I watched Starcraft 2. It was GOM TV. I think it was Marine King versus Kyrix. Round of 8, Season 2. Round of 16, Season 2, I don't know. But it was the Banelings thing from Artosis.
Oh,
Marine King started splitting and microing against Kyrix's high Baneling aggression.
Yeah, yeah.
Many Banelings.
I think the map was Shakuris.
I haven't seen him.
Someone in chat.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my favorite game of all time. Got me into StarCraft 2. Made me buy the game to see, hey, what is a Baneling? Why is he like out about these Banelings? I started playing StarCraft 1 campaign, so I know what a Marine is.
Yeah. Awesome.
Favorite recent memory? There was one really recently. Oh, it's a hard time remembering things. Come back to me on that one. I'll tell you.
I will.
After.
I'll do it as a preamble to the lightning round. If you know what the lightning round is.
Nobody watches that show, John.
That's also true. No one watches the show. You talked about how when you got your concussion in the game, I mean, you had thought about going pro, and how scouts look for that, where if you've had a concussion or a history of kind of injuries, then they might glance over you when it comes to the draft and things like that. Do you kind of regret, considering what happened after a concussion, not kind of going to a doctor immediately, or kind of giving in to saying, okay, I am seriously injured, I should probably get this checked out?
You cut out a lot there, but I think I got the gist of it. Do I regret not going sooner to the scouts? Going sooner to the doctor?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the question?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I made a huge foolish mistake, but when you're in that mindset, I was severely no, your career's over, you need to go get help. So, oh, sorry. Yeah, so I couldn't establish I needed to help when I was...
Those internet woes, man. There's like nothing you could do about it.
I know.
And this is like, I really want to hear what he has to say.
I know, it's just like boom. And then
it's like, so the secret to my success is cut.
No!
The secret of life, come back.
Oh, man. So while we wait for Jonathan's internet to get fixed up, we should probably just thank everyone in chat, because there's obviously some people who do know Jonathan, so they've been posting his Twitch channel. So you guys, if you're interested and want to see Masters Terran, who recovered from a serious brain injury, you guys check out his stream and favorite and show him some support. And then Jonathan's obviously a really nice guy, you can see here, so I'm sure he'll love to communicate with you guys if you have any questions, or maybe there's people in the community who have gone through something similar. So I for one think it's really encouraging to hear the recovery he's experienced, and that he was using Starcraft as a tool, as a medium to that end. So it's really exciting, I think.
I don't have him in my contacts. Can you?
I'm trying to drag him back in, but
Oh, the overlays. No!
Oh no.
My precious overlays.
Can I? What's going on?
Oh, Citron. I love him. Hi, Citron. Citron.
Hey,
Can
Citron
we-
was watching our Bell Fiber Optic.
Yeah, I think Citron is like 18 different people, because he seems to be everywhere.
It's like shaking, man. It goes with just one writer.
Okay. Join.
So, Songer says, Citron, who are you? How do we know you? How do you know me? He's like asking us, how do you know me? I recognize your name.
I am a wizard. We'll get back to it. Citron, stay around for after the guest, and we'll have some questions for you in chat.
It works. Sorry.
Yeah, we're
Fantastic.
back. Awesome.
Woo!
I don't know what happened.
You sound great now, so maybe everything is fixed and back to
If
normal.
we have massive lag issues again, we can always just turn off your video. That might actually allow you to just talk without
just talk.
pausing. But
Okay.
if it happens again, otherwise right now let's just stick with what we've got.
Yep,
Yeah.
so right before we cut off there, you were talking about how when you got the concussion, you were in a different mindset of, I can't really tell anyone, I need to try and go pro.
Yeah, so that was the case, and until a moment of clarity. Alcohol, it's called a moment of clarity. You have that one mindset of, boom, I'm fixed, I'm fine, and in that moment, you need to go to help. That's what I didn't do. I had so many moments where I needed to go get help. I needed to run for help, and I didn't do it. This year, coming up to school, I had one of those moments. I was going to go to school again. I'm paying for my own school, so it's really expensive on me. And I had that moment, and I went to the doctor, and I'm so...
Excellent.
Yeah. I decided to play Terran because they were the one in the campaign.
It's a good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
So you're going to switch to Zerg then for Heart of the Swarm?
No, I have no idea how to play the other races. I am literally Silver League with the other ones. I've got special hotkeys for Terran, so I don't even have hotkeys for Protoss or Zerg.
I don't even think those races use hotkeys. They just like mash the keyboard and then festers come out. All right, Jonathan. We want to wrap this up. I know you probably have a busy schedule with school and everything, but we do want to do the lightning round. But before we get to that, is there any shoutouts or anything you want to give? Maybe plug your Twitter or your Twitch channel, or just thank anyone.
I'll leave you with this story if I can come through clear.
Yep.
Okay. So this is how I recently heard how to deal with trolls. There was this Buddhist monk walked into town every week, and every time he walked into town he had to pass the beggars, and there was this one beggar who was known for being aggressive. Every time the Buddhist monk would pass him, he would ask, "Do you have any change for me?" And the monk replied, "I have no change for you, but you should have a nice day," and walked away smiling. Now he was known for being so persistent, so what he did was he would curse and swear, this Buddhist monk. He'd say, "You're a hypocrite, you need to give money to the poor," and he would be really aggressive, start and start hating on this man, racial slurs, all the hates you could think of. And the Buddhist monk would smile and keep walking.
Mm-hmm.
Every weekend, the Buddhist monk had to go into town for groceries or for whatever he needed. He needed to go into town every week, once a week. And every week, this passed by the town gates, which had this beggar. And the beggar would hate and mock him every time he said no, smiled, and walked away.
Oh, no.
Oh. Halfway through, I was like, it better not cut out. It better not cut out.
I was so excited to hear the story.
Oh, maybe this is actually part of the story.
This is so much suspense. I can't handle it.
No!
The secrets to life.
We apologize, chat.
The chat's blowing up.
Chat's like, ow.
Oh, brother. Alright, when it comes back, no video. We just gotta hear the ending of the story.
This is so good.
He'll be back, guys. I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. We'll do... he's trolling us now.
Wouldn't that be like the most meta, just epic troll of all time?
It's like, this is how you deal with trolls, and then trolls you.
You troll them back. You tell them a story and they get.
You tell them a story about trolls that just has no ending and just leave.
Okay, so no video this time.
Okay, perfect. He's back.
Jonathan, we were just saying that if you like basically just went offline, you'd be doing the hugest like meta troll ever. Tell a story about trolling and then just troll us by going offline.
Continue though.
Okay, so I'm not sure where I left off. Where?
He was coming back into the gates. This is like after you had already said that he'd always just tell the guy no, sorry, and the other guy would hate on him hard. So then he's coming back into the gates and he would say no, sorry, and this is probably where you're going to get to the point where we find out what he did to trolls.
I've dropped again, I think.
Nope, you're good.
Nope, we got you. Are you there? No, he's trolling us.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We got you.
Okay, so I'll finish the story. So, yeah, the beggar sitting there saying, "You know, I'm gonna mock you every time you hurtful, hateful things towards you. How do you walk back to this gate?" And he looks at him and he says, "If I have $1 and I give you $1, whose dollar is it?" Beggar. He says, "Have hate."
No.
This is torture.
What is going on?
Citron's right. I think Jonathan.
Yeah, you need Bell Alliant fiber up.
He's in Toronto, right?
Yeah, he is. Phew. I don't know, guys. We might have to
type it.
Yeah, maybe he'll just type
the
later.
Jonathan, if you're watching, if you can just type the punchline or the last like 3 or 4 sentences of it into the chat, then one of us will.
John Quinn can read
I can
his best
read
voice.
it out.
Oh,
Can
wait.
you hear me now?
Oh yes,
Yes.
you're back.
I'm coming through clear here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
so
good now.
clear.
You're good now.
All right, so, where are we? I don't know. The beggar is talking to the monk, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whose
yeah.
dollar is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So whose dollar is it? And you know, the monk says, "If I give you $1, whose dollar is it?" He says, "It's my dollar." He's like, "You're right." Same with your hate. Every time you try and give me your hate, and I refuse to accept hate and anger, and I don't. I continue on without your hate and without your anger, and continue smiling.
Whoa.
So that's a way to deal with trolls. It's theirs. As long as you don't accept it, it's not yours at all. You don't have to carry it.
That's good. Trolls usually bait you
That's
into,
awesome.
yeah, they usually bait you into these stupid conversations, and then you end up getting mad yourself. So that's really good point. Everybody watching, that was a really good story. I'm glad we waited.
As long as
Yes.
it took to tell.
That was very, very much worth it.
Everyone loves your story.
You are a wise young man.
Right.
If we can, I would love to get to the lightning round and hopefully praise the gods that we will get through it.
Okay.
you've obviously watched the show, all 14 episodes preceding this one, Jonathan, but I will tell the chat that the lightning round is the second best part of the show, where we ask our guests 10 questions, 10 fast, in-your-face, rapid-fire questions. Some have to do with esports, some have to do with other stuff, but these are hard, skill-testing questions, and we ask that you answer them as fast as humanly possible. So, Jonathan Wright, are you ready for the lightning round?
Yep, go for it.
Question number 1, how do you take your eggs?
Sunny side up.
Correct, 1 point. Number 2, the best show on TV right now. I think you might have cut out.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. That is also correct. 2 points. Fantastic. Number 3, do you get more girls in football or in Starcraft 2?
A lot of girls in football.
Oh, man.
All right, half a point because it's true. Number 4, favorite video game outside of Starcraft 2?
Age of Empires 2.
Fantastic. Hooray for sequels. Number 5, the best CSL team out there for StarCraft.
U of T when we've got Henderlisk and FGL.
Nice.
Correct.
Only to spite Frank and Nick, who love U of T, I'm only going to give you a half point for that.
I think we need to change the board game. Bias.
Number 6, the worst team in university football.
Oh, so now this might not be a lightning round question. U of T historically is the worst team in university football.
Wow.
We held the longest losing record of all time in any football league.
Yep.
Wow.
7 years without a win.
Wow.
Our long-standing tradition, man.
Yeah. Now this has changed. Now when I came in as a recruit, we started winning games. But before that, I'd say now it's York.
Yes.
York's not doing
That
so well.
York.
Boo, York.
York has now gone 4 years without winning a game.
Ooh, not bad. Aiming for that record. All right, I like your modesty of saying your own school is terrible. And I also like your cockiness of saying that once you came along, you started winning, so that's going to be 2 points. That is 2 points right there. Number 7, what's number 1 on your Christmas list?
I don't know. Socks.
Can never have too many socks, 1 point.
Yeah.
Number
All the time.
number 8, your favorite football team, CFL or NFL?
Oh, Green Bay Packers all the way.
Like that.
I'm a cheesehead.
You didn't say New England, so that's like +3. Number 9, your favorite StarCraft 2 players, one from each race.
MKP and DeMuslim, both are my favorite Terrans. Favorite Zerg, Idra. Favorite Protoss, Creator.
Fantastic. I may not agree with all of those, but 1 point nonetheless. And number 10, which is historically the most difficult question. Number 10, did you know Nick's song before the show? If yes, how disappointed were you when you met him?
I have never met Nick in person, but we've spoken on the phone a couple times. He's quite handsome, and we have mutual friends at U of T, which is kind of cool.
10 points for Gryffindor.
You realize that's the wrong answer, John.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Nick,
Yeah.
like negative
Yeah. You were like
I
going.
had so many points earlier.
You could spare a few.
Yeah.
You could spare a few. Fantastic. I'm going to tally these up.
I love the chat. Someone said, who's Nixon?
Oh, God. Did I close something?
It's me.
All of us.
While tabulating the answers, I accidentally minimized everything.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
Processing power.
We're back. We're back. We're back. Yeah, your points were off. They were out of this world so much that you blew up.
Did he hold the new record?
I think so. It was 12 before, held by Azael and DD, I want to say. They had 12. Let's give you 12.1.
Yes.
Congratulations, Jonathan Wright. You are the new Esports Canada TV Lightning Round champion. You are currently in first place, and that qualifies you to come back to our Tournament of Champions at the end of the year. Just know that that is not a real thing, so don't worry about ever coming back. But if you did want to come back, if you have an update for us in like a couple months or something, and you want to come back on the show and maybe talk more about your doctor's findings, or if he's doing some sort of write-up or research or something, we would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, I see him in January sometime, so...
Nice. Go ahead, Frank.
Can I? Jonathan, I also want to mention that before you, everyone in U of T... sorry, I have a different stream. Everyone in U of T, or like nobody in U of T had won a single lightning round, so there was a huge tradition at U of T where people would lose, so congrats. Now that you came along, they started winning again. So well done.
U of T!
Boo. So, Jonathan, excuse me, we can watch your stream at, someone linked it in chat, Nightwolf35 on Twitch?
Yes, Nightwolf35.
Perfect. Please let us know. Message us on Facebook or Twitter and let us know when you're streaming so we can plug the all-living crap out of that on our channels, because we need to get more people watching you, because you are the nicest and most knowledgeable person we've ever had on the show. Sorry, Clutch and everyone else.
Quite kind.
And everyone should follow Jonathan on Twitter at JonathanCW35. Any last words, Jonathan, before we send you away?
No, thanks for having me, guys. Have a good night.
Perfect.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Awesome
Great
indeed.
time.
Oh man, I can't wait to change these overlays. I was so amped about these all night. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, do you have them already set
Boom,
up?
boom. Yeah, just wait till he leaves the call. Just watch this. Can we just sit in silence for 10 seconds while this happens?
Sure, let's all observe John.
Oh, what? Didn't even press anything.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Man, I get off on overlays. All right, guys, that was Jonathan Wright. That was fantastic. He was excellent, very knowledgeable, and pretty remarkable story. So when this VOD is posted tomorrow on YouTube, which it will be, please share that and get as many people to watch it, whether they're video game fans or not, because that's a great story, and it's good to see that we're at somewhat of a happy ending already for Jonathan. So we wish him the best of luck, and hopefully you'll be able to follow his stream whenever he does, and we will plug that on our Facebook and Twitter. Guys, you didn't do anything this weekend, eh? There was no big esports events going on.
No craft, no fiber op, nothing happened.
Yep.
Nope. So probably just 17 minutes of dead air to end the show.
Sure. let's
Just sit here awkwardly.
Right in chat,
I can play with the overlays again.
No, let's. What do you want to talk about first?
Oh well, we got the rundown on stream. So why don't we do that? We can talk about the Fiber Up Cup. You guys casted for that on Sunday. Of course, it was a tournament held over 3 weeks for both StarCraft and League of Legends. So first week was League of Legends, second week was StarCraft, and then the third week, yesterday, was the finals for both games. So it got down to the round of 8 for League of Legends and round of 16 for StarCraft. And so the first week, 8 people qualified, and then we brought in 8 ringers, 8 pros to play, at least for StarCraft, and then it was 4 made it to the finals, and we brought in 4 pro teams for League of Legends. And so the finals for that were yesterday, and it was awesome. We gave out $5,000 worth of prizes, a bunch of swag and gear from a couple different places. And as well, we raised over $3,600 for Give to Live, which is a cancer charity here in the Great White North. So thank you to all the guys at Frag for Charity who put that on, as well as the main sponsor for that event, Bell Line Fiber Op. The guys at Lag TV came and casted for a while. You guys casted. Who else do we have? Unctious, Cold SC.
And we had Kibbles in the second week, but then he went to IPL.
Yep, we had Kibbles as well. We had, on the league side, we had Spuddington, and Jared Kale from Pure Ownage came in for a while and casted. So it was a really great tournament, and that was the fall version of that. So they are going to be doing another version come, I believe, sometime around March-ish for the winter version. So check out for that. It is a free-to-join tournament, and it's kind of an all-day event. It happens 3 Sundays in a row, and that was our first one, and we definitely had some hiccups and things we need to work on and fix. But March is not spring, Citron. March starts on the 22nd or 23rd. So there's 3 weeks of pure March for it to be winter.
So does that mean we're going to have maybe 4 of these a year? Because we just had the fall
Yes.
cup, and then you said there's going to be a winter cup. So there's going to be a spring and a summer cup.
Wow.
That is the plan. And there may... I know for sure there's going to be a couple online, and who knows, they might even do one in person at some point.
Oh wow, yeah, that'd be really cool.
So
have like another big event in Canada that we can all go out to and just chill there. It'd be really awesome.
Well, it'd be on the East Coast where things are actually cool, but
cool,
yeah,
weather-wise, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it'd be the winter, so. So yes, Citron, I will won't be on you after this.
Who is Citron? I don't know.
He's
so
just
confused.
he's just a guy.
Citron, do we know you?
Citron played in the Fiber Up Cup, and then
but
found it necessary to stick around all the chat channels all day and
this is gonna bother
do
me.
some borderline trolling. But it was good. He was good to have around, and he did help out a bit. So props to you, Citron.
This guy.
Citron.
This guy.
So
it was a lot of fun casting for that as well. So we did have a blast, and it was what I really enjoyed about it was just just having Canadians play at such a high level. It was really cool, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Glad I could be a part of it.
Indeed. So pay attention to the Frag for Charity page and our page. We'll be promoting the next one. It's free to sign up. We had pros in the finals for SC2. We had Stogie. We had Rise, who was on the show before. We had DDE had to pull out right before the tournament started. He had something come up, so sad face. But he was replaced by a Stogie. It was funny because I was talking to the guy. I was the admin for the tournament, so the round of 16 is starting and the brackets go up, and it's DD against Pulse Kane, who ended up winning the entire tournament. So it's Kane against DDE, and then Kane messages me and says Kane can't do it, or DDE can't do it. He has to drop out. So I was like, all right, well, let me message him on Skype and I'll see if this is true and whatnot, just to make sure. And so DDE's like, yeah, I had something come up, I can't play. Really sorry. And I'm like, all right, stuff happens. And so I tell Kane, all right, we're going to give you the DQ win. You get the forfeit. And he's like, all right, perfect. I'll wait for my second round match. 2 minutes later, a Stogie comes up. He shows up, and he's like, why isn't my name on the list? And something happened with the registration form or something, and he wasn't added to the list, but we already had 16. And I was like, well, we have this other pro come in. It definitely helps out the stream. It's all for charity and everything. We should throw a Stogie in there. So I messaged Kane. I was like, hey, we may have found a replacement for you. And he was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, oh, another guy just showed up. And so, do you mind playing? And he was like, oh, I guess so. Who is it? It's a Stogie. So he's like, are you kidding me? Like, really? I have to play a Stogie right now? I was like, yeah, sorry. He ended up playing him.
He danced his roaches.
Yeah, he destroyed him. It was 2-0. So, good job, Kane, who ended up taking the whole thing. So, and you can watch his stream, twitch.tv/KaneSC2, I believe. I guess he BMs a lot, supposedly. It's what other people said. So, if you're into that, definitely tune in. I'm not sure when he streams, but subscribe and you'll find out. As well, let's talk about WCG instead of IPL first, just because there was a bit more Canadian content and noteworthy stuff that people might have missed for WCG.
John, you were basically posting in our Skype conversation when you saw Combat X on stream, right?
I watched the VODs the next day because it was like 2 a.m. or something when it showed live.
Oh man, he had the biggest smile on his face when he came with the Canadian flag. He was like, yeah, Canada.
Well, I was watching the intros and I'm skipping through because they did it by like continent or something. So I was waiting until we got to North America, and then it was like Mexico came out first, and then I think it was Illusion came out for America.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, America. If you don't like America, you can just get out. So and then so I'm waiting, and I didn't know who was going to be carrying the flag. I was like, is it Henderlisk, Firezerg, or Combat X? And so sure enough, like the American flag waves aside, and all of a sudden Combat X just steps out so happy, and he's fist bumping and stuff, and waving the flag, and he's just super amped up. And I've never felt more proud to be a Canadian. So thank you to Combat X for doing us that huge honor of carrying our Canadian flag into the WCG finals. And he actually was the highest ranked Canadian at the end of the tournament.
Yeah, there were some good games. The ones against Parting, it was, oh man, I feel like he could have won that last one with the Proxy 2 game, but he went too a little early.
I mean, he lost 2-1. He finished top in his division. He talked about, I saw in an interview after that he was saying, I thought it would be better to get second place so I wouldn't have to fight Parting or something, because he didn't know who was going to finish where. But he ended up taking first, and then Parting took second. So he thought it would be better to finish in a different spot. But oh well, he made it to the round of 8 and lost 2-1. Henderlisk as well was in it, didn't make it out of his group. Just missed it. I think he finished 4th in his group of 8. As well, Firezerg was just short of making it. He was in a 3-way tie with 2 other guys, and they had to play like a huge set of like 3 or 4 extra matches to see who would move on. So, and he fell 1 game short. So, but congratulations to those guys. They made it to the WCG finals, which is pretty huge. So,
yeah, and WCG posted some really cool pics on their Facebook. So if you haven't liked their page, or if you want to go check them out now, they have some pretty cool pics, kind of behind the scenes stuff too. So it's really good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait for next year. I mean, we helped out a lot with the WCG Canada, so I'm hoping next year is a bit of the same thing, and maybe get you guys doing some more casting and host some more mall events and bring the games to the peoples.
Indeed.
IPL 5, let's save that to the end, because I mean everyone watched it. It was a huge tournament. It ran over 4 days. It was hard not to hear what was going on. Starcraft Toronto, how was that, guys? You were there Sunday.
It's actually really good. Songers, do you want to talk about it first?
Yeah, the venue was amazing. Like for the first part, there was actually before we even got there, the bar owner had already helped us set up and everything. So we had about 3 projectors up, the 3 different screens. They were really comfy seats. They were like, I don't know what they were made of, but they were comfy. And we had a raffle table set up, and then people just started pouring in, and it was such a great event at the end where we were watching the World Championships, and people were rooting for the foreigners, and then you had some people rooting for the Koreans, and it was just such an amazing event. The energy there was huge.
Yeah, the prizes were actually really awesome too. So because some people might be thinking, why do I want to go to a Starcraft? I can just watch the stream in the comfort of my own home. I can even watch it naked if I want. Some of the coolest things about being at a Starcraft is, one, you're meeting other people who are like really passionate about esports as well, so you're like communicating with other people who have the same interest as you, so that's like probably first and foremost. But the second thing is, a lot of these Starcrafts go to great lengths to get you guys swag and awesome gear, usually at expense to them. So at our event we had some items donated by Sticky Flames, which is a Canadian a tournament stream group of guys. So they donated a Kerrigan collectible figure and some, what were they, action comics? No, what are they called?
Yes, they were mangas, basically like graphic novels of Starcraft short stories, and also there was one about Nova and I think Tosh from Winds of Liberty. But also they had the HOTS beta keys. You had 5 HOTS beta keys to give out. And so congratulations to those lucky winners.
Yeah, $25 Electronic Boutique gift card. So like really cool prizes that you just win for just buying like a raffle ticket. So that was really awesome. Oh, we had a funny situation where one guy, I don't know if anybody in the chat was there, but if you remember this, I know Endersword, you were there, you were front and center. This one guy, they were giving out basically they were about to give out the HOTS beta key, right? So they call out the number, and there's this one guy who was standing right in the front, and he's like, oh my god, my friend just won that. And we're like, oh, where's your friend? He's like, no, my friend bought the first 3 tickets before me. That's his number. I know it. And we're like, okay, well, where is he? And the guy kind of walks up, and he's just like, he doesn't give a crap. His friend's like, yo, you just won. He's like, what? Oh, great. And he's like, where's your tickets? He's like, I don't know. So listen, he had a trench coat on, and he had his hands in his pocket. And then his friend's just like, dude, where are your tickets? Are you crazy? You just won a HOTS key. And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So we're all like, what do we do? Like, what are we supposed to do right now? So then what happens is, like, after maybe, it felt like 5 minutes that this was occurring, where the guy's like yelling at his friend, dude, find your tickets. He just takes his hands out of his pocket. He's like, oh, here they are. So we're like, oh my god. He was like playing with them in his hand the whole time, in his pocket. He had no idea where they were. So he won a HOTS key. So congrats to that guy. Was it Eric? Was that his name? Congrats, Eric. I think it was Eric.
I forget his name.
It's not worth even remembering.
He had a name.
That was funny.
That man had a name.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool event. Looking forward to having more there as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's the main thing. Yeah.
How was IPL 5? You guys got to watch pretty much all day yesterday. I was doing Fogel stuff, so I didn't get to see too much of it. I saw most of the epic Stefano half comeback and the almost reverse all kill, which would have been awesome. I was just like, I felt bad because I'd been doing Fogel stuff all day from like 10 a.m. till 8 or something, and as soon as it finished, I turned on IPL, and it was like, Stefano's up like 2 games, can he complete the epic comeback? And I was just like, oh my god, I need to watch this. So I just like instantly started watching IPL. My girlfriend's like, really? Like, you just watched and like did admin for 12 hours, like you're gonna watch more? I'm like, you don't understand, like it's North America and the world versus Korea, like he's doing an epic comeback.
She didn't understand.
Stefano saved that event, because like a lot of us were talking about, first of all, the format, with the all-kill format, there was, I guess because there was nobody except for one Terran, there was all Zergs on the foreigner team, so it was just Zerg after Zerg after Zerg, so we just saw ZVZ, 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 and we didn't get to see the other Koreans. It almost looked like we wouldn't get to see any other Koreans, so the format just seemed a little bit crappy, like it was underwhelming. Plus the foreigners were going to go down 5-0, so when Stefano came in and started winning, that made it interesting, and that made for a story. So in a way, the format actually played to that, but I still think it would have been better if they did maybe an A, B, C, D, E format, so that you just pick your first player, and then once those players pair off, then you go to your second set, but you don't just have one guy who has the chance to stick through, because then you just watch the same guy play over and over. So Stefano really saved it by bringing back 4 games, because otherwise it was really underwhelming and boring.
And it was interesting too that he played Squirtle in the finals, who we beat at NASL, what, 4-0 or 4-1?
Yeah, and then he ended up
he just losing to that, for sure. Yeah, there's so many ZVZs though, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Frank and I were like, no more ZVZ, because in the morning we were casting ZVZs as well.
Yeah, it's just too many Zergs out there.
Zerg
yeah!
Zerg OP.
That was me trying to point at the...
So why don't we do... Oh, you're trying to point at your emblem? So
oh, that was Alicia, not Squirtle. I'm dumb.
Yes, you are.
Never mind. I got all extra hyped for nothing.
Why don't we talk about something like,
well, why don't we plug the upcoming events?
Yes. Housekeeping. Let's do it. What's
Next
happening?
song.
Okay.
Oh, we have, in Toronto, we have something happening.
Why is Nick So's mom here?
A really long story. When we were doing the Fogel adminning, she came and just yelled at Nick, who was doing some of the adminning as well. But he was on Skype, and so we all heard it, and it was just like the funniest thing imaginable. And so you just got reamed for like 10 minutes by his mom. So the rest of the day, we just all yelled at Nick, and we're just like, Nick, you gotta do that! Just like screamed at him, pretending to be his mom. So,
all right,
not a chance that he's watching, but I'll make sure that he sees this VOD, because I think he's streaming right now as well.
So this weekend, Esports Championships is hosting a Clash of the Champions. So it's going to be some epic show matches. So the players that are going to be playing at the show match, we have Rise, DDE, Eggy, Handreless, Tubby the Fat, and Combat X. So this thing will be taking place on Sunday. Oh yeah, you post the link in the chat. Great. The event will be taking place on Sunday, starting at 11 a.m. and going till about 8 p.m. It's going to be located at AMC World, which is basically at Spadina and Bloor, right next to the beer store, actually. But yeah, really cool event. Frank and I will be casting for that, at least somewhat throughout the day. They're going to be switching on different casters, but we'll definitely be casting together.
It's a long event. It starts at 11 a.m. is it? Till it goes until like 8 or 9?
Yeah, exactly. So
it's going to be a huge event. Lots to watch there. But that's Toronto specific. Do we know about any other events?
As well. Next weekend there is a Starcraft in Victoria, being hosted by the lovely Tristan Clausen. I will pull up the calendar information that has it all right now. It's being hosted at Heckler's Bar and Grill. Admission by donation. It is 19 plus, and it's going to be for the NASL finals. So on Sunday. Do they have confirmed yet the 8 players for NASL? I know they were still in the playoff format, and I know DeMuslim made it. I do want to see who else. Zoe and Day 9 they announced as casters. Oh well, you can check out the player list online. Probably Team Liquid has it for sure. But that's going to be a good event. NASL delivered last time, so hopefully they deliver again. Any other tournaments Anything else going on? Untouchables just announced another Starcraft tournament as well in Toronto, the center of the universe. Yeah, it was just yesterday, like late yesterday, they announced it online.
Oh, nice.
I did see that.
Are we involved in that, or is it just they're doing one?
Frank, you're supposed to be casting right now.
Oh.
My wife is so mad at me. You guys have no idea. It's been like 3 weekends in a row. Because like I work all day during the week, so I hardly see her. Yeah. And then I come home and do this show on Mondays. And then on the weekends, I'm like, oh, I gotta go do some Starcraft stuff. And she's just like, really? Again? So, like, obviously this is starting to wear thin on her.
Originally, it was just like, oh, I'm so happy for you. Like, oh, you get to cast. Like, that's super cool. It's like, maybe he'll do it this once and realize he sucks and then never do it again.
But no, the feedback was too good. People love you, Frank.
I remember when my friends were going to a League of Legends tournament, their girlfriends were all like, so, like, this is it, right? Like, when you win the tournament, like, you'll just accept that you're the best and then just never play again, right? Like, and they were like, no, that's not how it works. Like, we're going to go and win and then be like, oh, we should keep playing. We're actually pretty good.
Keep winning. All the winning.
They lost.
Yeah. So it's a never-ending story, dude. It sucks you in, but it's so good, so you don't really want to leave. But I love esports. Thank you, everyone, for watching, too, and sticking around, even after Jonathan left.
As well, the VOD of this will be posted tomorrow on YouTube. You can check that out at youtube.com/EsportsCanadaTV. I believe that is about it. We are 1 minute past our deadline, which is pretty good, because usually we run late, because Frank usually has to tell some sob story about something.
You love my stories, John.
I do. It's like daddy talk. It's like, ooh, Frank's fathering corner. And
I can give you life hacks, man.
Yeah, what do you got? What's your daddy tip for the week? Let's go.
Lollipop.
Daddy tip for the week? Alright, I'll give you one. When you're changing your kid's diaper, always open it and then close it. And wait. So that you don't get peed on.
What?
That's it.
That is it, everyone.
You don't know. Wait, Nick's gonna get peed on. He's gonna have a boy, and he's gonna open it. It's gonna be like a fire hose, shoot him in the face. He's like, "What? What's going on? I don't." And then he'll remember the story. You wait.
Okay, so when I have kids, I will let you guys know.
Never gonna happen. Alright, guys, thank you for watching. This has been Esports Canada TV, episode 15. I've been your host, at Quinn in the Net. You can follow me on Twitter as well. Follow my co-hosts, at ESC Songers and at ESC Jovi and Frank Ricci and Nick Songers. Join us on our website, esportscanada.ca. Join the forums, join the chat, do all of that stuff, participate, let us know about events going on so we can plug them, come to them, cast them, be jealous that we're not there of them. Come to our barcrafts and any events that are coming up as well. Follow us on Twitter at esports_Canada and facebook.com/esportscanada. We just hit 900 likes, which is a huge milestone, so let's get to 900 more. Any last words from Frank and Nick?
I was just going to say, even as you watch us on our social media and stuff, also give us feedback on how we did and how we can improve the show, because we always want to get better and serve you guys better. So anything you guys feel is important and isn't trolling, give it to us.
What Frank said, and good night.
And Citron, I will never 1v1 you. We both know that I'm better. See ya!